is the University of Michigan.
Touchdown, Michigan!
And midcourt, extra pass.
And it goes for the win! The three-pointer by Jordan Poole!
Down the sideline! Peoples-Jones! Touchdown, Wolverines!
All right, welcome back to Blue by 90. We are here today with Cam again from the Michigan page. Cam, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Well, man.
Awesome.
Repeat guest. Love to see it.
Recurring
Let's go.
guest Cam from the Michigan page, killing it out there on Instagram. Shout out Valiant for his Michigan suit jacket here. Looking good. It's game week, boys. Holy smokes. We are so close to seeing Michigan football. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been waiting for this since, January 1st. And it has been the longest offseason of all time. And we are so close now. How are we feeling? Are we feeling a little nervous? Are we unsure about what's going to happen? Confident in Joe Milton? How are we all feeling out there?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm nervous because I feel like we're not going to be able to see Joe let it loose like everybody was hoping for in game one, just because that weather looks like a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see a lot of running from the running backs. Maybe even Blake Corum will get in there. And I don't know, man. I'm excited though. Like you said, it's game week. It's finally here. We never thought it was actually going to happen, but right now we're recording on Wednesday night. We're 3 days away from football.
Mm-hmm. 3 days away from football. Probably by the time people are listening to this, we could be Friday, Saturday. So, yeah, we could be the game day. I mean, again, Kalen, you said it on our last episode with Craig. This is the longest week of all time, right?
Dude, it's so long. It's Wednesday. I'm like, dude, hurry this shit up. Let's go. I'm trying to see this game on Saturday.
Saturday's going to go even slower. We got to wait all day, but
I know.
Here's what's going to help us. We have games to watch.
That's true.
It's true.
That's true. Around the country, we've got Big Ten games even Friday night too. Wisconsin will play on Friday night. I believe Ohio State, Nebraska at noon on Saturday. So I'm actually interested to see Wisconsin with this new quarterback because Jack Cohn is out. And then of course I'm interested but a little afraid to watch Ohio State beat the shit out of Nebraska and see how good Justin Fields is, once again.
Well, you can flip from that to Michigan State Rutgers, right? Watch the fight.
Game of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that again.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're all going to take the under on that game.
Yes.
So you mentioned it already, Jack. Let's get right into what to expect come 7:30 Saturday night. The weather is going to be cold. I think the real feel high for Saturday night is like 21 degrees. So Minnesota, Cam, you're a Canadian boy. How cold is it up there for you right now?
Well, we go by Celsius. I mean, it's your typical fall weather, but we're at that point where it's toward that end of the fall season. The leaves are really, really falling. We're actually, especially this week, guys, we've had a lot of rain, and wind. So it's crappy weather. It's not very pleasant. Like I said, we're at the end of fall, approaching that winter season over here.
Yeah, well, I saw Minnesota got some snow yesterday. Today's Wednesday, so we're talking about Tuesday. They had, 2 inches of snow, some wind, and pretty obviously cold temperatures. So something similar for Saturday night in the Joe Milton debut, right, Ro?
Yeah. I think it's calling for like a 60% chance of flurries or something like that. We'll see what happens. Obviously the weather changes daily. But by the time Saturday comes, we know it's going to be cold. There's no heat wave coming. The unpredictable part is the precipitation, but I don't know, Jack, you said it already. Do you think that favors Michigan with how good of a running back room they have, or is it crap? We're really putting a lot on this new offensive line right from the get-go.
I'm thinking more towards the offensive line. So I think it'll really tell us where they're at. You know, are they going to be good, or are they going to struggle a little bit? And we got 4 new starters, obviously all veteran guys that have been around, but not a whole lot of experience. I mean, other than Jalen Mayfield. So we'll find out kind of how the O-line is going to do. I'm excited to see what the D-line is going to do with a lot of, run expected from Minnesota in that game. And then, I mean, if the O-line can handle their blocks, I'm excited to see what the running backs can do. Like you said, we know they're a strong group, but I think we're really going to find out a lot about the O-line for sure.
And Cam, I'll go to you on this one. So obviously Tanner Morgan and Rashad Bateman are the dual threat there for Minnesota. They haven't had a great success in the running game. Do you think that they'll still be able to throw the ball in that type of weather, or do you think they'll have to kind of change their offensive game plan?
I think Minnesota's running game is definitely vital for their performance against the Wolverines, but I think it's more up to how Michigan's defensive backs, cornerbacks, handle a receiver like Rashad Bateman, a quarterback like Tanner Morgan, and that type of threat. We lost our best returning cornerback in Ambry Thomas. Really, really, really unfortunate. If we had him back, I wouldn't be very nervous about this matchup at all.
Yeah, and so Brad Hawkins came out just the other day and said that Rashad Bateman is going to be Vincent Gray's responsibility solely. So they're not going to try and go, zone coverage on him. It's going to be one-on-one with Vincent Gray. Are we feeling confident with that, or is it like, crap, maybe we should get a new game plan, Don Brown? Kalen, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm hoping that's just like talk, That's just somebody saying something to the media, and then game time shows up and Don Brown has a real plan.
Exactly.
And if anybody actually bought into that media hype, they'll be like, oh, shit, what is that? Okay, right? But I'm actually glad you said that about the weather, because I was just thinking about it in terms of like, oh, no, Joe Milton can't throw. But you're right. It should have an impact on Tanner Morgan and Rashad Bateman, which would make it kind of a ground and pound kind of classic game. We all know Jim Harbaugh eats that up. So, and
time of possession.
Exactly. And we've seen our running back room, and I'm about to write Jay Harbaugh on my ballot and send it in. So like, dude, if it's a running battle, like, let's go.
Yeah, I do think that cold weather does favor Michigan. I can somewhat see it, not that it's going to be to the extent of Michigan Notre Dame last year in the rain, but Michigan really came out and ran the ball well in that game, and I can see that happening again. And as we all have said, we trust in Ed Warner to get these guys ready. I actually talked with Spath on Stadium in Maine podcast. We were saying we actually think this offensive line could come out and be a strong point for Michigan by the end of the season. So I truly do think that could be the case. One other thing about the weather too, I saw a stat just earlier today. Tanner Morgan in all of Minnesota's games against ranked teams last year, and they won all of them, maybe close to all of them, he had over 300 yards passing in each of them. So that's a real big part to their success there. And if they can't do that, then I think that causes problems for Minnesota. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, the secondary might be the weakest position group for Michigan this season, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. One other thing that I wanted to touch on too, right away here is rumors are swirling about the coronavirus in Minnesota. People are saying that Minnesota is not going to be at full strength with their roster. They are going to have multiple people out. It even came out on some message boards today that they could have multiple offensive linemen that have to sit out for this game.
Wow.
So, and on the other hand, Michigan came out and said they had 0 guys out, no new positives, so they'll be at full strength. What do you guys think, Cam? What do you think about that? if they've got a couple people out, how big of an impact does that have on this game?
That's a great point, Ro. I think it's massive, massive. And my confidence starts to go through the roof if I hear that they're out of two out of their starting offensive linemen, or any key players. We have no idea who could come back with a positive test result. This season is going to be wild, unprecedented. It's going to be one that we've never seen before. I've already seen it in the NFL. I'm a Patriots fan. We didn't have Cam Newton for a couple weeks against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, we didn't have Gilmore. So it's just what's going to come with this season in a pandemic.
Yeah, we saw it with Nick Saban, right? I mean, just testing right before the game. I mean, I read an article that they had his like COVID sample on a private jet and like flew it back to Mobile, Alabama to test it real quick and get the results. So, I mean, these like the money on the line for these teams to play is like so absurd that they'll just make it rain to play these games. But in terms of who's going to test positive when, like we have no idea.
Go for it. Did you have something to say, Jack?
Well, I might be changing the subject here a little bit, but I don't know if you guys saw the U of M students that are on campus. At least I don't know if it factors into any students off campus, but they have a stay-at-home order now through November 3rd, so they'll be home for the next 2 weeks. I'm shocked they didn't do it a little bit sooner, just because of football season, just to make sure that the players aren't interacting with any other athletes or whatever it may be, to keep that opening game safe. Just my little fun fact. That's all I've got. I hope that was good for you guys and you enjoyed it.
We appreciate that fun fact of the day from Jack Shield at Shield Tweets.
At Shield
Tweets. Yeah, but that is something to think about. And the one good thing about that is that they came out and said this does not affect Michigan athletics. Student athletes are exempt from this stay-at-home order, which I just think is kind of funny. Once again, it's like all the time the NCAA and Michigan and the Big Ten and all these organizations preach, oh, they're students first and athletes second. They're definitely that. And then when push comes to shove, they're a tier above everyone else and they get special treatment, and they're the only ones that can be out and about in a pandemic that are putting their lives on the line so that we can watch football and the university can make money. So
exactly. Like, I was just going to say, and bring the revenue.
Yeah.
That's what matters the most.
It's just comical at this point. Like any commercial that they put out at this point and saying like, oh, look at these student athletes getting their degrees. It's like, dude, you guys couldn't give two shits about those kids getting their degrees. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's about how much money you can make off them. So anyways, they are going forward with the game this weekend in Minneapolis. They still are planning to have the game in Ann Arbor next weekend on Halloween. That'll be a nooner, big nooner. So let's see, what else can we talk about here before game time comes on Saturday? So one thing that we've been hearing all about from, the SEC, the NFL, and everything is pumped in crowd noise. What is the stadium going to be like on game day? So what have you guys heard out there, and what's your opinion? Should they pump in some game noise or crowd noise? I'm sorry. Or should they do music? Should they just have it be nothing? What's your opinion on that?
I'd like to see them use every element possible. Be honest, just use any type of strategy to just make the atmosphere close to what it would be. Like I don't want to hear absolutely nothing. I don't want to hear freaking pin drop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kind of like how the NBA did it. They got better as the NBA went on too, and now the NFL is doing it too. So that's what I think.
I know we talked about this. Or go ahead, Kayla.
Well, I was going to say I've just been, wasting my time watching the Lions. And so, I mean, you hear what the NFL is doing. And honestly, I kind of enjoy it where I'm like, oh, okay, like there's been a couple times where I'm like, are there people in the stands here? And then they show the stands, there's no one there. I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay. It sounds
it's hard
like
to tell from TV. Really hard to tell.
yeah, it sounds like a real game sometimes. So if they
Yeah.
pump in some crowd noise, like honestly, I would not be mad at all.
I know we talked about this kind of when it first came out that we heard there was going to be crowd noise. I think it first started with baseball, and we were curious about if it was going to happen with football or not. And initially, I was kind of thinking, I was like, I'd love to be able to just hear the game being played and hear all those hits and hear those guys
Like
talking shit to
UFC.
each other. Exactly.
Yeah.
So like,
When you can hear like bones cracking.
Yeah.
oh, it'd be amazing. I couldn't give two shits about crowd noise. I would love if they could make that work where we can hear all of that play on the field and shit talking and whatnot. That I would much prefer that. But I mean, whatever they got to do, whatever makes most people happy.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little inside scoop from the girlfriend over here, who's my inside source. So as always, everyone drink because I mentioned my girlfriend. That's good beer. So the Big Ten has come out and said they can only keep it at like 70 decibels, which is nothing. It's going to be, it's not much at all. They can only play it like 3 seconds after the snap or something like that. It's the restrictions are crazy. There's only certain times that the PA announcer can say things. Nothing during play. Nothing. It's like music has to be in certain times and not. It's crazy to me because in my head, okay, we don't have crowds. That sucks. The way you can make up for that is to pump in all this stuff or let these DJs, let the media people loose a little bit and say, all right, you guys got to do your thing to create your own little home field advantage. Obviously within some restraints, but create that home field advantage. They're trying so hard to keep it level across all Big Ten schools, and now it's like they can barely do anything, which I think it's going to suck, honestly. I think it's going to be really frustrating to watch, especially in week 1.
Well, how do you guys feel like what if they did it like the NBA? Instead of pumping in crowd noise, they just had music playing throughout the game?
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
It could be kind of cool. I'm surprised they haven't looked at that option yet. Or maybe they have.
I don't know. I feel like they looked at all options, but I do think crowd noise as I have watched the Lions and the NBA and everything else, sometimes it sounds so fake that you're like, all right, that didn't sound good when that play happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do know too, like I'm very certain that there's going to be so many of these schools and teams that push the button on these. They're going to be like trying to push it as far as they can until they get a penalty on them or something like that. Ohio State in particular.
Oh, definitely.
Ohio State, cough.
Just for reference here, I looked up a chart about decibels, and about 70 decibels is like traffic, like you're standing on the corner and cars are driving by. 100 decibels would be like putting your ear next to like a handheld drill or something like that.
So it's going to be
could have been nice if they could have put it in like the 85 range.
Yeah.
Like a nice happy medium there. That could have been nice.
Dude, I say put it up here 150 like a fighter jet or something. Let's go. Let's blow eardrums out.
Maybe Oregon will do that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I mean, that's 70 decibels is like nothing, dude. Your car's going by. Come on. I mean, that's gonna affect nobody. What do you think about the players? Cam, you've kind of, you talk to the players more than any of us, that's for sure. What do you think the players are going to think about this with it being quiet in the stadium?
It's obviously not nearly as fun. We all know that for sure, but honestly, I have not talked to any players about the lack of an atmosphere. I really haven't. So I know it's a very disappointing answer, guys, but it's
get out, get off.
They're focused on one thing, and that's to get the win.
Well, that's a good thing then. I mean,
Yeah.
they're focused, and they don't care who's in the stands or what's playing on the speakers. The game's the game. So honestly, that kind of makes me feel a little better. Maybe the TV people will play sounds for everyone watching on TV.
Right. Cam, we'll keep going with that. Have you talked to any guys about the upcoming season, and what have you heard from anybody about how they're feeling about this team?
Well, I mean, I just saw Josh Ross, one of our linebackers, yesterday, claim that this has got to be the most tight-knit team he's been a part of in his time at Michigan. So that's very exciting to hear. A lot of players I have spoken to in the past seem to be in favor of Joe Milton starting over Dylan McCaffrey. This was months ago. This was before Joe was announced a starter, and then Dylan decided to head elsewhere. So I could totally understand why this would be a very tight-knit group, especially if they go through a lot of adversity and with a pandemic and unprecedented times. You know what? It can bring a squad together, and I'm really excited to see the impact it has.
Love it. And I'll keep it going here. We'll keep hounding you for answers here for a second. Go everyone while we're at it. Go follow Michigan, the Michigan page on Instagram. Cam runs that account and is killing it. 50 or are we at 60,000 now?
We're at around 63.
Humble brag over there. About 60.
And you forgot my Twitter.
And
Yeah,
the Michigan page Twitter too as well.
I suck at Twitter, but I'm on there.
You've been more active than normal on there. I've seen you on there a little bit.
I'm not working as much, man. Yeah, and you know what? I realized I was like, why am I posting all this stuff to Instagram and just like forgetting about Twitter? I am seeing zero growth on my Twitter over the last year or so, whatever it is. And I realized, well, yeah, probably because I hardly post. All I do is retweet important news. But the best follows on Twitter have their own original content. So what I'm just gonna try to do moving forward is just post everything I do to my Instagram onto my Twitter as well.
Love it. Good. All right, cool. We'll be happy to have you back on Twitter a little bit more too. But my question for you is, in the social media world with those 60,000 followers, what are you seeing or hearing from this Michigan fan base as far as, hype, confidence levels, what they're most excited for? What is it that everyone's looking forward to most for this 2020 football season?
Well, like usual, Joe Milton, any Michigan quarterback that's announced a starter heading into the season carries so much hype. You can call it pressure as well. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of people are nervous. I completely understand that. But at the same time, the real fans that really know their roster, there's a lot to be excited for, but there's also a little bit to be nervous for. For example, our running back room is loaded. I am so excited to watch this running back room. Brand new O-line minus one returning starter, almost a whole brand new O-line if Jalen Mayfield wasn't able to come back. That is major in how the first game plays out. There have been a lot of followers that have been calling Joe Milton's name for 2 to 3 years now. It was the same for Dylan as well when we had Dylan McCaffrey. Wide receivers, we lack a big body, 50-50 ball, red zone, possession kind of receiver. Nico Collins, I'm looking at you. I love who
Call him out.
I love who we have at wide receiver, but we lack size. We have a lot of the shorter but speedy guys. That's the quote-unquote speed in space, right? D-line, we have a lot of depth, and it's improved depth. It's improved experience. We need constant pressure out of these two defensive ends, Kwity Paye and Aiden Hutchinson, as well as that interior, the defensive tackles, Carlo Kemp, Chris Hinton, Mazzie Smith. We need them on their A game all season to help out these inexperienced cornerbacks. I feel completely confident in safety. I truly do. It's the cornerbacks that I'm a little bit concerned about. I am curious to see if the Dax Hill, the cornerback, was a legitimate thought, or is he just going to play at safety all season and we're going to act like that was never any talk in the off season? Right. What do you guys think? Would you like to see him move to cornerback, or do you think we're okay at safety?
I mean, I'd be interested to see what he looks like at cornerback and see if he can be that lockdown guy.
I think he can I think he's fit for press man.
100%. Why wouldn't he be as good or even better than Lavert Hill or any of our lockdown corners? He's just as fast. I'm assuming he's put on some poundage so he can be just as physical too. But I also think that the way we've lost games in the past is deep balls down the middle. And I'm thinking that maybe he can be the guy that helps that out. I'm thinking of him diving at Jerry Jeudy's ankles last year in the bowl game. But I'm assuming, I bet you he's watched that same film 1,000 times and said, I'm never letting that happen to me again.
Exactly. I'm wondering, would he make more plays at corner versus safety? We never really know until we see it.
Yeah, I think so. I think he would, right? I mean, especially I don't know if we can assume he would be the number one DB at that point, just because he's got a little more size than Vincent Gray.
And speed.
But and speed, definitely speed for sure. So, I mean, he might. I mean, if he would end up being that number one guy, I think he would get more play time as far as like ability to make plays coming at him.
Right.
Yeah, if you're a lockdown corner, wouldn't you be locked down because nobody throws at you? So would you really have that many opportunities to make plays?
But that's what a good corner does. They throw away from you, right? And so if we have him and Dax Hill and Vincent Gray at the corners, well, now you don't have anywhere to throw, but across the middle, I guess, and try and get a matchup against, Brad Hawkins or whoever would be the backup safety. But I believe, they're going to try, and Minnesota specifically, and then every team for the rest of the season is going to go, let's get Rashad Bateman on the opposite side of Vincent Gray, right? And figure out, how to get that mismatch. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I also don't know who would fill in his spot at safety. And I think that's got a lot to do with it. But let's go back to our last podcast with Craig Rowe. And what did he say? Does it really come down to? I didn't even say he was my cousin. That doesn't deserve a drink. Fuck
it's my own little game I'm playing.
All right, we'll drink.
Tell me to drink, I'll drink.
All right, perfect.
Fine.
But seriously, though, what he said was that what it comes down to is 11 different one-on-one matchups every single play, right? So if Rashad Bateman is the number one guy on the offensive side of the ball and Dax Hill is the number one guy on the defensive side of the ball, don't you want him covering that guy?
100%. 100%. Especially when it comes to guys like Rashad Bateman, Rondale Moore, Chris Olave at Ohio State, KJ Hamler. I know he's gone now, but last year it would have been great to have Dax Hill covering him one-on-one. So, I mean, for guys like that, Dax Hill's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the athleticism. He's, like you said, he's probably put on some muscle, so he's got a little bit more physicality to him. I mean, I think he's got everything that it takes to be a lockdown corner, but if that means we're sacrificing at safety, which I feel like either way would be sacrificing, I don't know. It's just up to the coaches who obviously I think they know best of where he would be most needed.
I have an idea. It's on the other side of the ball. I want to hear what you guys think. I just heard this in my group chat. It was mentioned today. Hadn't thought of it before. What do you guys think of maybe lining up tight end Eric All on the outside for a little size mismatch?
Yes, I was just gonna say that because he's almost built. He's almost built like a receiver. Like he's a taller guy,
totally,
a little bit leaner, not like the typical built tight end. Almost like Kyle Pitts out of Florida, but not as strong. Unless he put on a shit ton of muscle over the offseason, taking steroids or something.
Like Eric All. I really like
dude. Great hands. I mean, he's got the athleticism of a wide receiver, maybe not as fast,
and he's
but
from
I do
Ohio.
Like that. I love taking Ohio guys away. It's great. But he could be that guy.
Right.
He could be that guy, though. I like that.
That kind of mismatch reminds me of like Texas last year. Remember Colin Johnson, wide receiver, 6'7". That's an absurd mismatch, right?
What you don't when you have that type of height over, maybe a 6 foot or 6'1" corner, you don't have to be the faster guy. You don't even have to be a good route runner. They just have to get you 15, 20 yards down the field and throw it up to the outside where the cornerback can't get it.
Dude, who better throw it up than Jay Millie?
Hey,
that's right.
You're damn right there. I like that. At least it doesn't have to be all the time, but let's do that sometimes in the red zone. Throw a fade every once in a while. I like that. I was gonna go around with our breakout players of the year. Cam, are you going Eric All for your breakout player of the year, or do you have somebody else in mind?
I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
I'm going to go with big old 44, Cam McGrone.
Ooh.
I love this guy. I think he's a great replacer for Devin Bush. I'm not saying he's in his category, but he just might be. I love him. His sideline-to-sideline speed, his aggression, his football IQ, his love for the game. Give me all the linebackers like Cam McGrone.
Yeah, we mentioned that on the podcast, I think, last week with Justin's cousin, Craig Rowe.
Never heard of him.
He plays a lot like Devin Bush does. He's got the speed. He's got the physicality, sideline to sideline, like you said. So that would be awesome to see him kind of have a breakout year like Bush did in his second or third season. Can't remember what it was. But I'll go back to the tight ends, man. I think Eubanks, I thought he should have been the number one tight end last year. I'm excited to see what he can do this year being the legit number one tight end.
Also, he's such a trusted receiver at this point.
Yeah.
He's not going to
solid, man.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah. Looking at you, McCune.
Looking at you,
fucking McCune.
Don't mention McCune.
he was playing for the Cowboys the other night, watching that on TV, and he was in the game. So I mean, good for him. They must have taught him how to catch the ball.
They're hurting for depth over there in Dallas.
So my question about Eubanks is, are we gonna see a leaner Eubanks that can move a little bit better? Because he put out a little mixtape. This was early quarantine. I think it was like in the summer, and he caught a sweep like from the backfield. He was moving pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I think we could see a different Nick Eubanks where he can move pretty well, and instead of he didn't move that well last year. He was good, but like I felt like he was pretty slow across the middle, and then when he caught the ball, he was never making anybody miss.
He moved like a tight end, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if he added some speed, fuck yeah, let's go. He always finds himself open somehow. I feel like anytime he got the ball thrown to him, he's wide open over the middle. I don't know how it ever happened, but always seemed to find himself open. So if he got some speed to that would be fun to watch.
Plus, he was rocking like Gronk's elbow pad, right?
Yeah,
dude.
Robot.
Got that Terminator arm.
Yeah, that's right.
I do think in this offense, sometimes the tight end can get lost in the secondary because you got so many. Think about it. If you have, well, obviously we don't have Nico, but if you have, Ronnie Bell, Giles Jackson, Mike Sainristil, all these guys through there, and you're worried about all those guys, and then Nick Eubanks or Eric All are kind of lined up inside, you almost forget about them, and then it's like, holy shit, he's wide open over there. He beat some linebacker or something. Yeah.
Dude, what if you even went like empty backfield, right? Then you could have 5 wideouts.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Dude, that's scary, honestly.
That's Chris Evans is a whole different talking point today. I think we should all touch on having Chris Evans back. I think that's huge.
Go for it. Go for it right now.
Well, just for you fans, followers, listeners, he switched to number 9 this year. Just so you know. And I'm very curious to see how he's used. We haven't seen running back Chris Evans under Josh Gaddis, the offensive coordinator. And we have a loaded stable at running back and a lot of receivers. So are we going to line him up in the slot? Are we going to use him for third downs and throw to him like a James White type of pass catching running back on screens. I think he'd be great for that. Because like in 2017, we were using him in between the tackles because we made him beef up. His freshman year in 2016, he was awesome. Like he was so exciting to watch for a true freshman. Like we rarely have seen that these last couple of years at Michigan, where a true freshman just comes in and just dominates every game. And 2017, we had it seemed to be a different goal for him. We made him beef up a little bit, add some muscle, eat a little more, and he was running in between the tackles. And I think his production decreased a little bit. So with Zach Charbonnet, Hassan Haskins, true freshman Blake Corum, Christian Turner, how are we going to use Mr. Kid and Play?
I know we've kind of talked about that and possibly like some 2-back sets. So maybe Evans is out there with Charbonnet or Evans and Haskins or Charbonnet and Haskins, whatever it may be. But dude, like you said, I mean, if we got Chris Evans from his freshman year, I say he's the number 1 back and just fucking fill those guys in after to give him a break. I mean, Evans was a fucking stud his freshman year. And
that Hawaii game?
Dude, I mean, the Purdue game, fucking I mean, countless games. He was making 30, 40-yard runs to the end zone. Not something we see a lot.
Florida
especially
State, that game.
Yes.
Dude, making plays just everywhere. Making plays everywhere. So
it's like he's been there
back.
before.
I mean, I'm glad he has. I mean, he's been around the block. He's experienced. He's a veteran. He's gone through adversity, and now he's coming back. Dude, I think he's going to have a huge fucking season. Worked his ass off.
Yeah,
see, one thing,
he
real blue-collar guy.
Yeah.
One thing that concerns me, though, is I always felt like that his freshman season, he was like super agile, and then he put that weight on, and it slowed him down.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you think about guys who take a year off, what do? They hit the weight room really hard. So I don't want him to come back in and have, just be like a linebacker now and be like too slow. The only way I could see that benefiting him is if he's somehow like adjusted to, having a heavier weight, and then he becomes a little bit more of like, a legit running back who can like plow through a guy maybe here or there, hit a couple holes, and he maybe gets away from becoming an agile guy and becomes more of like a bruiser type back. I don't know, just a theory.
That would be interesting. His best trait was elusiveness.
Oh yeah.
And another question I have is, like, I noticed when I was looking up the 2020 roster before this podcast, they have Ben Mason listed as a tight end. Now I know we don't really have a fullback. We don't use a fullback under Gaddis. So I assume Ben Mason's role will strictly be goal line situations. I think we're going to forget about trying him at D tackle. Don't think that was a good idea from the start. Getting off topic here with Ben Mason, but yeah, like back to Chris Evans, Ben Mason. I'm curious to see how we use them.
I was going to mention Ben Mason too, because nobody's mentioned his name. And there's so many offensive weapons, but 2 years ago, last year, he kind of played both sides, so he didn't get much love on the offensive side. 2 years ago, he was like unbelievable, right? And
he hurdled a guy.
He literally hurdled a guy at like
Darnell Savage, a current Green Bay Packers safety.
That's insane. Oh my god. And what? Ben Mason's what, like 6'4", 280? Like, come on.
Is he that tall?
I don't think he is, but still. Regardless.
Either way, what did I say earlier? Didn't I say Mike McCray was like 6'8", 290 or something?
I'm like, dude, he's not that big.
I was looking at my old post from 2016. Looking back, I loved Mike McCray and I loved Tyreek Hill. Looking back now in 2020, I don't really know why I had this like love for Mike McCray and Tyreek Hill.
Dude, I remember the spring game for Michigan football's year, 2015 or 2016, and there was a throw over the middle, and this linebacker just fucking laid whoever it was out, and it was like Mike McCray with a tackle, and I was like, this guy's a fucking baller, and I loved him ever since then. But he was just, I feel like he never really made any like crazy wow plays in games, but he was just solid. He was just a solid linebacker.
Yeah.
Did he? Mike McCray?
And also, we Don Brown thought, it's a good idea to have him cover Dalvin Cook against Florida State in the Orange Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the thing is Mike McRae.
That was such a good game, though.
That was a great game. We should have freaking
damn.
won that game too.
Yeah.
Mike McRae, great linebacker, but you can't ask him to cover a speedy guy, which is not his fault.
No.
I don't think. Like, he's not built for that. You know, Devin Bush even struggled to cover guys like that. Like, you can't ask a guy that's 200 and
3,000 pounds.
He's up to 390 right now, which is nuts. But in all seriousness, yeah. But I will back to Ben Mason. You know, I do think that he's going to be a part of this offense where he's a key guy when we need some, short yardage. You still have this guy that he was on the live stream for Umish Hale the other day, him and Chris Evans.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah. He was, dude, he's so funny because he has literally great guy. He has zero personality outside of just being a football player.
Yeah.
Like literally he just knows football and that's it. It was so funny. Bellino was on there asking him questions and he was just like, yeah, I like football. Yeah. I really like eating food.
No wonder Harbaugh loves him.
Oh yeah. 100%. I saw
my page. He sees every story. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's the man.
Shout out Ben Mason.
But my prediction for Chris Evans, he might not get a ton of carries inside the tackles, but whenever we're in a 3rd and 7 situation, Josh Gaddis is going to try and get him matched up with a linebacker out there and imagine Chris Evans against most Big Ten linebackers. They got no chance, right? If he makes one move, it's gone. They might just get him on a little slip screen or a little quick slant or something, let him try and make one move, and then he's gone. So I can see him being a big X factor when Josh Gaddis ever gets into a pinch here. It's kind of crazy how many weapons this offense has, even losing their best player, right?
Yeah.
Dude, think about it, right? Even if you had, Chris Evans and Eric all lined up out there along with, a Ronnie Bell, a Giles Jackson, someone like that, and you're doing it regularly, so many things you can do. And so if you're the other team, and if I was playing DB, I would just look at who's lined up and just be like, God, come on.
God damn it.
Honestly, we have so much more athleticism on this roster. Every year we get more and more. And I'm thinking back to the 2015 and 16 squad. And especially guys, think about our linebacking core. We have nothing but athletes at linebacker now, which is what Ohio State's been doing for years. We just need to catch up. And that's what really excites me. Give me all the athleticism possible if I'm in charge of a roster personally.
Dude, I'm so annoyed at myself right now because I've had a couple beers and we're 3 days from the season starting. I've officially convinced myself that this is the year. There's nothing stopping us. I mean,
would it be a season if Roe called it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've literally been just talking myself into this slowly, and now we're here, and I'm like, I mean, what? Where's our weakness? There's no way we can be stopped.
We're getting fucking blown out at Minnesota now.
I'll tell you guys this. For the people that are listening, if we do come out flat in week 1, it's not the end of the world. No. Notre Dame 2018.
Yeah. Perfect example.
So don't panic. Don't hit my DMs. Save it, please.
I love that people come to you you're
I love it.
You have access.
I'm just
to
some
Harbaugh.
kid in Canada, man. What do I know?
People come to you you can go and go to practice and fix these things.
Yeah.
Or something.
Oh my god,
dude, what are you telling Ronnie, man?
Oh god, that's good.
Oh,
Ronnie's my guy. We both love the Joker.
Yeah, dude, fucking love Ronnie Bell. Who's your favorite Joker? Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Oh, hard 100%. to beat.
Joaquin
Phoenix though, he's a close second. Joaquin
but
Phoenix is a close second.
I didn't mess with his costume nearly like I did with Heath Ledger and just like his type of Joker, his character.
I mean, he perfected it.
Great acting job. You know, nothing against Phoenix at all. Great movie, but
one of a kind. Heath Ledger.
I really like the Joker from Batman Beyond. Did you guys watch that?
Oh, that was a great show.
Was it Nicholson?
Oh man.
Oh, never mind.
No, there's the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a kid,
I thought it was I can't remember his name right now. Dude
Mark
who played
Hamill.
Mark Hamill. I thought it was him until the other day when my friend I think proved that wrong.
Is it not?
I don't believe it is. I can't remember who it is, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was for years.
I love that we're 3 days from Michigan game and we just went down a rabbit hole of the Joker for 5 minutes.
I take the blame for that one.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I loved it.
Because we got so many scars from getting walloped by Ohio State.
No shit.
God damn.
Exactly. So let's talk about what everyone's plans are on Saturday. It has been I talked with Spath about this too. It has been 41 weeks since we have had a Michigan football game day. 41 weeks since we've had a Saturday morning where you can wake up and flip the TV on knowing that the Wolverines are taking the field. How are we feeling? What are your plans? How are you going to feel when you wake up Saturday morning and knowing that you see the maize and blue take that field?
I know, bro. You and Kalen know. I just moved into a new house. I'm ready for game day. Already looked at getting a new TV to celebrate Saturday as big as possible. I found out how big my TV stand can hold, so I think I'm gonna buy a new TV to celebrate this season finally happening.
There's no better impulse decision than to buy a giant TV just because football season is about to start.
I've got an addiction. I got to feed it. But, yeah, football season, man, I'm going to wake up. I got the day off now. Was able to get a little bit of coverage. Got to crack a beer, maybe have a mimosa, turn on College Game Day, listen to Kirk Herbstreit talk a little bit.
Got to pace it, though. Got to pace it.
I'll be drinking Bud Light, so I'll be all right.
How many beers you thinking? Like until 7:30 p.m. How many beers deep?
I put this out on our Twitter the other day, and I'm like, oh man, like in reality, I'm embarrassed to tweet that out.
I'm thinking a lot of day drinking between morning, early afternoon, nap before the game, wake up, keep it rolling. Like drunk nap. Like I'm like, shit, I need to take a nap. I'm fucked up. And then wake up later.
You see, like,
and watch the game.
I'd be like that too, but it's not the best idea for me to run my page just hammered.
That's true.
Just live stream the whole time.
Yeah, but also too, like, I'd be so emotional and just.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'd regret saying some things. No filter.
This thing it'd be like the Michigan Wolverines. Just spelling errors throughout every single post.
Yeah. Oh man.
Do you guys think, like, I don't know if you saw my Penn State post the other day. It was like a year ago since that game last season, and I saw this video come up on my Snapchat memories. I like recorded it myself. I was just like I sent this to a couple of my friends who watched the game too. It's just like talking about the team and how I felt about that loss. Even though it was a loss, I still felt really good about the team and the fight we showed and stuff. I'm wondering, do you guys think I should like put more of myself on my page and more of my input and what I think pre-game, post-game type thing?
I mean, I'd say hell yeah, for sure. I mean, it's your page, you built it. I mean, I think that would be interesting too, because we've kind of talked about doing like post-game reactions and whatnot and like throwing that up there. It's like I think just throwing up a post-game reaction like right after the game's over, that'd be awesome content.
Yeah, awesome, like use it more content as like a YouTube channel, right? But
yeah,
I have one negative thing about that, and that's all the players that see my posts, see what I have to say. Like I've already, like, just by speaking online, I've had players calling me out. So yeah, I feel like that could be even worse when I'm speaking as just more of a person and not some anonymous character.
Right.
But no, but I definitely agree with you guys. I think I will be doing more of it. Also, too, there's more room for negativity and haters, but like you got to just develop thick skin doing something like this.
Yeah. I mean, especially
You
for
know?
you with as many followers as you have, but also it's a thing too. You can put a positive spin on it. You don't have to. I mean, you can put whatever
like I
spin
did
you want.
versus Penn State, yeah.
Exactly, right? So I mean, you control exactly what you're saying, which is great. So I mean, it could be a shit game, and you could be out there saying like, guys, it's not the end of the world, yada yada yada. I think it'd be awesome content. People would love it.
And yeah, people will love that because, listen, Michigan fans, myself included, we're always looking for that positive, some excuse or reason or like, this sucks, but everything will be better in the future. So listen, I'll be watching you being like, damn it, Cam's right. We're still winning the national championship.
All right, hey, let's go.
I like it. So with that being said, and we'll give both pages, maybe we'll give some post-game reactions on Saturday or Sunday or something. Let's give our pre-game predictions. So let's go around the room here and give our score predictions, give a little, maybe a little something to it. What is going to happen on Saturday night against the Golden Gophers?
Who wants to start?
I'll go ahead. I mean, obviously we've mentioned the weather. We know it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be fucking cold. Like high of what you said, 29, real feel high. Possibly
21.
Snow, 21. Yes, I'm even colder. So I think it'll be a low scoring game. I mean, I gotta be a homer and root for Michigan. So I'm gonna say 21-17 Wolverines.
Okay, yeah. I can deal.
Yeah.
So
that's my prediction.
So I think this is gonna be a game all about TOP, time of possession. It's the same way you have to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Not only do you need D-line pressure, you need to keep the ball out of their hands. I'm thinking, and it's funny too because our quarterback's from Florida and our starting running backs from Cali. With this weather, these elements. I mean, though, like Joe's been waiting. He didn't just get to Ann Arbor. He knows what these winters are like. This is nothing. I'm not worried about it. I'm thinking 28-20 Wolverines, but like we're gonna pound the rock, man. Yeah. I think some fans are gonna be disappointed. We didn't see Joe air it out that much, but games will come for that. Like we will prep for schools teams differently than other teams. That's just how football is. That's how the game works. You attack their weaknesses. Use your strength. You see who's a mismatch, who isn't. So that's what I'm thinking. Just keep the ball out of Minnesota's hands. Pound the rock. Trust the defense.
Yeah, I think that's a good prediction because, I mean, obviously we're all a bunch of homers, right? I mean, due to the weather and everything like that, I'm going relatively low scoring game, right? I'm thinking, I don't know, 24-21, something like that. And I'm looking at a pretty close game, mostly just kind of ground and pound runs.
You're going Michigan?
Yes, sir. Of course. Yeah.
Obviously. All right. Here is my prediction. Joe Milton is going to come out and he's not going to look great in the first quarter. They're going to try and throw the ball. It's going to be shitty weather. He's going to make some mistakes, and it may be weather related. It may not be. But they're going to come back, and he's actually going to get comfortable. He's going to get some game experience, feel the game speed and everything, and they're going to start running the ball better to give him some more confidence. Josh Gaddis is probably going to start with some dink and dunks to get him going, right?
Right.
Make sure that – but I really do think they're going to take a couple shots deep right away. Show off that arm, see what happens. Maybe not right away, but probably in the second quarter once he feels more comfortable.
Play number one.
Yeah, throwing it deep.
Yep. So they'll get it going. I think that, honestly – I think this game goes to Michigan in a pretty heavy way. I think that they're gonna end up just beating the crap out of this team. They're fired up, honestly. I know PJ Fleck and the Gophers are too, but
he's a great coach.
He's a great coach. You cannot
great motivator too.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going to be ready to go as well. But they did not practice. While Michigan was here practicing, they sent the Golden Gophers home. So they were home while we were practicing. So I think that's going to have a big difference in what happens in this football game. And I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to actually be a shootout. I don't believe in this defense is going to shut it. I don't think they're going to shut it down. I think even in the cold weather, unless it's like some snow rain game, like if it's pouring obviously or snowing, 6 inches or something, then that could be different. But if it's dry or decently dry, it's going to be a shootout. I think that the Wolverines score at least 40 points in this football game.
Wow.
100%.
Holy moly.
You know what? I'll tell you, I was torn. I had two scores, 35-24 or 28-20.
I think they get to 40. I think that Cade McNamara comes in at the end of the game and throws a touchdown of his own. I think it goes 42-34 Wolverines.
Wow. I just don't see it with the weather. I mean, like you said, if it's dry and if it's cold, whatever. But if it's like fucking snowing.
Well, if it's snowing.
Way.
Yeah.
That's what I said. So if it's snowing,
that's what you said.
Yeah, if it's like, but like flurries, I don't know. It's not gonna snow 6 inches.
Hey, we gotta play till mid-December. Like this is nothing, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they're gonna
it's gonna be a shit show then.
If they're ever gonna throw it, it's gonna be now. This is a home opener and it's already fucking snowing.
Right. Usually that first game's nice and warm.
Yeah. I'll go.
No.
Don't change it. Leave it.
Yeah.
Because if you end up nailing it, you'll be pissed.
I'm lessening it. I'm lessening the Gophers side. 42-28.
Okay, even better. Okay, I'll take that.
Double-digit
you guys
win.
call me crazy. I'm not a hater, trust me. But do you guys think that Joe Milton's gonna have a pick six?
No.
Because he's thrown a couple picks. He has a cannon, but he has
not. Time though. Can't count garbage time.
That's even worse, dude.
I mean,
no,
he could,
because
it's
garbage time when he's behind, trying to make plays.
It's not like it couldn't happen.
Yes.
So, I mean, it could happen. I'm not even gonna put that in my head.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna put it in my head.
I don't think he'll throw a pick six. I do think he has an interception probably early in this game because it's game speed. He hasn't seen that before. He's been killing it in practice. Is at an all-time high. He's going to go out there and try and force some things because he's like, I got to make all the plays.
I can make this throw.
Guy. Yeah. He thinks he can make every throw. I think that he's going to force something and it's not going to work out in his favor.
How many yards rushing do you think Joe Milton will have?
That's a great question.
I'd say 50 plus. 50 plus.
That's
really
high.
50 plus, yeah.
I mean, if they're calling read options,
man, I'm thinking 25.
25? Still, I'm okay. Yeah, it's probably more realistic. But I'm saying 50 plus. If he can actually pull a read accurately, unlike Shea Patterson,
true.
I think it's an easy 50 he can get.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I have a bold take about Shea. And
we're going back to Shea Patterson.
The backlash might be rough, but I think that we didn't need to go for Shea Patterson. We didn't need to recruit him. We didn't need to take him into Ann Arbor. We should have just developed Joe and Dylan because we probably wouldn't have lost Dylan. I am ticked about that. And Shea was great. Shea was pretty consistent. But, hey, his first season, 2018, was actually better than 2019. And I'd rather just have Joe and Dylan for longer, and they'd have a lot more experience by now. Like, Joe could have been so much more proven at this point.
Yeah.
I was so worried we are going to lose him because he waited and waited and waited. Like,
thank God he did.
Yeah, thank God he did. That's for sure. But I mean, you think about it, Shea Patterson was the number one recruit in his class, quarterback recruit in his class, right? Like, he was a five-star guy coming out of Ole Miss. I mean, he made plays at Ole Miss. We can't deny that. So, I mean, I think everybody was pretty excited to see what he can do at Michigan because we didn't really know exactly what we're 100% different type.
He looked like Manziel for Ole Miss.
Yeah. I mean, I think if Michigan would have, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I like looking hindsight 2020. I'm with you. I think if we could have had like McCaffrey take over at that point, and then eventually Milton would have got in there, I think we would have been in a better place. But I think at the time we were all pretty excited for Shea.
We were, absolutely, and I trust me, I remember that hype. But I feel like in 2019 we really pressured him to be like mostly a pocket passer.
Yeah,
but like the guy, you know what too? You got to think about this. He hurt his ribs against Middle Tennessee State week 1.
Yeah,
he was not healthy.
No, like that Army game. No,
he was not healthy. You know who else wasn't healthy? Majority of last year was Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah,
that's true.
Really not
he was
healthy.
Still a beast.
I always forget
still
that.
did well.
He had 11 touchdowns, almost 800 yards.
Yeah, he's a freshman record.
One of my biggest surprises was Hassan Haskins in that Notre Dame performance.
100%. Yeah,
like this guy was a former converted linebacker.
Yeah.
He took over the starting job at that point for sure, Cam.
And yeah. Do you guys think Blake Corum's going to get significant time this season as a true freshman in a loaded room?
We talked about this a little bit on our last pod, and we don't see it.
No. Would you guys compare him to someone compared him to Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Yeah, I would 100% compare him to that. I mean, dude's a freaking stud, right? Like we know he's super talented.
He would have been a 4 or 5 star if he was taller, straight up.
Yeah.
100%. I think the Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a great comparison.
You know who else was very short? Mike Hart. Incredibly short.
Yeah.
About the same height.
Yeah.
Corum's, I think, more athletic and probably a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Corum will have his day. He'll have his day.
Oh, yeah.
It's not 2020. He'll have his day. It might not even be 2021, honestly. But I don't know. People are saying I've heard that Charbonnet is like a different human being this year. Healthy Charbonnet is very different.
He also said he really hit the weights in quarantine, but the guy was already huge.
He was already jacked.
His legs are mammoth.
So to come out looking like Saquon Barkley.
And you know what? He would have been a 5-star if he didn't tear his ACL his senior year. I've been very, very excited for Zach since since he committed.
Yeah. I even like when he was here on visits, the people that were down on the field with him were telling me he was just as big as a lot of the offensive line recruits that were coming in. Like he's that big. His legs, and he's just a thick boy. Thick with like multiple C's.
Yeah. I will say this though, I'm a little skeptical about the depth. Knock on some wood, guys, right now. But after Joe, like we would have had Dylan ready to go. I would have been thrilled. Like 2 starting quarterbacks. Mind you, if you have 2 starting quarterbacks, you have none. There's always that saying. Yeah. I'd ideally like them to choose one and roll with it. But Cade McNamara and Dan Villari, the true freshman.
The GOAT.
Whoa. Hold on about Dan Villari.
The GOAT.
He's a second-round draft pick.
Second round? We moved him down?
Oh, he's a first-round draft pick.
He's a first rounder, top 10, baby. He's wearing that Jim Harbaugh number 4 for a reason.
We talked a few weeks ago. We talked ourselves into Dan Villari being a first-round draft pick, like really quickly. So
I want to let you guys know some insider information here. I talked to some people around the program, and what I heard was that drink to that.
I'm all out, boys.
I heard Nico Collins went up to Dan Villari and said, I only feel safe taking the number 1 if I give you my number 4.
I don't know.
Jeez. Who told you that?
Lying right now?
Who told you that?
Villari's my guy. I may have just made that up.
Oh, okay.
I may have just made that up on the spot, but I love Dan Villari. Okay. That one video he's got on his Instagram got me hyped, man.
Yeah, that was nice.
He's the GOAT, dude.
Speaking of number 4, just so you guys know, I'm pretty sure Vincent Gray switched to number 4 from 31. So
yeah,
I like that a lot better for him.
31's a nice corner number, but I
like those single digits.
I do
too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Oh, guys, so we have 2 players wearing the new number 0. I'm sure you guys all know who they are.
Yeah. Tell the
Giles
people. Tell the
Jackson
people.
so Giles Jackson, he ideally wants to wear number 5, but Joe won't give it up. Joe in 7 looked great, by the way. But
He
anyways,
did. Yeah, I loved him in 7.
he also wore 3 for a couple of games. Anyway, so Giles Jackson is wearing 0, as well as true freshman corner Andre Seldon, who is a very short guy, but like a dog, complete dog instinct, good football IQ, loves the game. I think he'll be covering the slot. I don't really know exactly yet. We'll see. I mean, usually slot guys are a little bit bigger. But yeah, those are the 2 guys wearing the new number 0. The only problem with this number 0, guys, is that it looks exactly like a block O.
I know. Did you see Ohio State made like a block O jersey? So they're giving the 0 to like, it's basically like they're like number 1.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It is, man. I got a lot of respect for
that. Makes sense.
I think they do a lot of things that are really cool with college football. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I love the way that they do shit.
They're doing everything right, especially in terms of social media. Another thing that they do is like a true freshman comes in and I think he starts with the black stripe and then he has to earn the scarlet stripe, or maybe he even starts with no stripe. I'm not exactly sure, but I find that really cool.
Yeah.
Agreed. It's unfortunate how cool they do things, honestly. It really
is, man.
All right. Well, I feel like we could talk
forever.
until the sun rises now about this. But let's go to our 0 to 90s. I've got nothing prepared. I know that Jack and Kalen probably have nothing prepared, but it sounds like
mine was taken.
It sounds
I'm
like
just gonna act like I'm not prepared either. I don't study, boys.
It sounds like Cam has something prepared. So we'll go to those. Who wants to start here? Anybody?
Yeah.
Do we want Cam to go last or Cam to go first?
I don't study. I'm not prepared, but I'll start.
I feel we got to have Cam go last. Save the best for last.
Okay.
I'm just going to repeat a take I had from earlier, but I'm ready.
Good. All the listeners are really, waiting to hear another thing that you said once more. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Jesus.
Are you going to start me off? Are you going to drink your beer? What are you doing?
I'm drinking the whole time that you talk.
Right,
Jack,
perfect.
yours 0 to 90 starts now.
Okay, so not only did Nico Collins hand gift wrapped, tied a bow on top of the number 4 jersey to Dan Villari, but Michigan is going to ground and pound. I'm going to say 250 plus rushing yards against Minnesota, and I'm going to double down and say 21-17 for my prediction for the game. Michigan's 1-0 after the first game, and we're going to roll into Sparty, preparing for a beatdown of the Sparties in Ann Arbor. Again.
And you got to remember that run game that we threw Mini in 2017, Chris Evans, MVP, along with Khaleke Hudson on the D. That game was nuts, but I mean, it was a little bit rainy. Game. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All right, Kalen, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Kalen, your 0 to 90 starts now.
All right. I know my score prediction was low, and I don't think Joe's going to have that many yards passing, but I think Joe Milton will have over 100 rushing yards.
Wow.
He will be running read option, and he will know exactly what he's doing. He's had all summer into the fall to prepare. Dude, he's going to get out in the field in space against some DB. Boom, Mack truck on him. So, Joe Milton, let's go.
Love it.
Absolutely love that take. Love that take. Oh,
that one felt good, didn't it?
It did. It felt really good.
Thank God everyone listening has just stopped listening so far. So.
They're probably
like,
drunk with us at this point.
Burping?
Yeah. All right, somebody get me here.
You ready, Justin, Mr. Gold Mike?
I am.
Did you use a hair blow dryer on your hair today? It looks very nice. I like it.
Got a lot
He's
more.
feeling himself.
Oh,
that's true. That's why I wear a hat.
Is that what? Yeah, I was just gonna say.
That was a low blow.
Anyways, I'm gonna go cry in my closet now.
You look a lot better than when you tried to shave your head. That's all I'll say now.
That's true. It's growing back, boys.
At least you can grow a beard, man.
That's true.
That's true. He's got a great beard.
At least when I'm bald, I'll be able to have a beard.
I can't grow shit. All right, go for it.
Justin, your 0 to 90 starts now, buddy. Oh, I don't know why I felt like doing that.
Time is
So
ticking.
unnecessary. So unnecessary. All right, I'll go for it. Kalen, I'm going to piggyback on yours a little bit. I think mine last week was that Joe Milton is going to have more rushing touchdowns than he will passing touchdowns in game one. I like that take. I like your take even better. I am going to do something very similar. We are going to have over 100 yards rushing from non-running back position players here. So it's going to be quarterbacks, wide receivers combined. They're all going to have over 100 yards rushing here with reverses, some little, sweeps or something like that, QB loads, QB sweeps, things like that. I think they're going to be very, very, unique in how they run the football in this bad weather.
I like it.
Okay.
Little Giles Jackson jet sweep out there. Maybe a little Roman Wilson.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Cornelius Johnson.
They said
like
Roman
it.
Wilson's faster than
Fast.
AJ Henning's fast too, right?
Yeah.
All these dudes.
Weapons.
Yep.
All right. Cam, you got to do better than us. You have to one-up us, all right? So you told us before we got on that you've got a couple hot takes. I'm ready for a steaming hot take. Cameron, mocked. Is it mocked or mocked?
Mott, like M-O-T-T.
Okay.
Ooh, like
We'll
the
cut
children's
that out.
hospital.
We'll cut that out. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
exactly.
Cameron Mott, the Michigan page. Your 0 to 90 starts now.
Okay, well, I have a lot of things here. I first wanted to say, not only on the last pod did I say Giles Jackson will be the Big Ten returner of the year, I wanted to say that Cam McGrone will be the Big Ten linebacker of the year. But I thought, oh, you know what? That's for the overall season. I got to talk about this matchup. For the season, though, Kwity Paye, Aiden Hutchinson, best defensive end combo in the country. Not the Big Ten, the country, the whole country. Okay. And my hot take for this game specifically is that Zach Charbonnet, Chris Evans, Hassan Haskins, all three have a touchdown.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say they're gonna combine for like 300 yards or something, but I'm cool with the touchdown.
I thought he was gonna
that.
say everyone has 1,000 yards rushing for the year.
That'd be
I wanted to zoom in and more, just have a couple hot takes for the specific game that we're having this pod over. So
Love it.
Save the good ones for a little bit later.
yeah.
Oh, that's a great take.
So what do you think about that? All three running backs with a touchdown.
I don't hate that at all. I
don't hate it.
that I think they'll probably give all of them an opportunity to, right?
Do you think they're all rushing touchdowns, or are
Yes,
there?
all. I mean, Zach and Hassan could have rushing touchdowns, and then Evans with the receiving. But just for this, I'm going to go with all three rushing.
Yeah,
I like it.
You know what? My prediction is if that's the case, how are you going to defend that if you're Minnesota or anybody else on the schedule?
They can't.
There's three different guys that can get in there and score on you, or at least get some yardage. That's tough to defend. I love it. All right. Anybody else got any final thoughts before Saturday, before the season opener? I want to hear you guys. Let's hear a little positive talk here before we go into it. Little pregame, speech or something. Kalen, chocolatey voice here. Let's go.
Well, this will be where I devise all of my pregame rituals for the rest of football season, right? Whatever I do on this game dictates whether what I don't or do for the rest of this 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to get up in the morning, right? I'm going to put game day on. I might even make myself a pancake or something like that, right? But the moment those games start, it begins. I am going to crack a beer, probably with my key, and shotgun it on my porch like a savage, right? Throw it. I don't care. Dude, I am so ready for football season at this point. Like, laws mean nothing to me anymore. I am going to just walk down to the stadium, take out my Comcast remote, turn the game on in the big house. I'm ready to play, so let's go.
Oh, I love it.
That was incredible. Oh my God.
All right.
Anybody else? Go for it, Jeff.
I'm sure I'm with you guys. My guy Jeff at Cox 590. I hope you're listening. We're hammering the Wolverines this weekend. We're betting on the Wolverines this weekend. Gonna make a little bit of money here, and let's come back with a W. Kalen, I'm a little disappointed that you're waiting until the game start to start drinking. I hope you come over a little bit earlier.
No. You misunderstood. After game day ends at
noon start
drinking.
So you're waiting until noon.
Dude, I gotta get my pancakes in, man.
Nah, dude. Once game day comes on, you gotta crack that beer.
A little bourbon in your coffee, maybe.
Well, that's where you're drinking your
I
mimosa.
have to try that.
Little Baileys in your coffee, something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, we're hammering the Wolverines. Blue by 90. I'm doing my best Jeff impression that I can. And then we're rooting for the Cox against LSU.
Hell
There you
yeah.
go.
Hell yeah. All right, Cam, what do you got? What's going on Saturday?
All right, guys. So our back's against the wall. There are a lot of Michigan fans out there that claim, oh, this team's going 4-4. That's the absolute ceiling. We have every single guy in this room needed to win this game, and not just this game, every other game on the schedule. Look at everyone around you, look at them dead in the eye, and know that you have your brothers back, and you're about to go to war for them.
Let's go. Let's
I'm ready
go.
to run through a brick wall. Holy shit. I can't believe we're still days away from this football game happening.
Are we really?
We should have recorded this podcast on like Saturday at 6 p.m. or something. So I'm ready.
We did this for you guys so you can listen to it before the game.
Yeah, because if we
For the
recorded
listeners.
it Saturday at 6 p.m.,
We'd
it'd
have to
be
live
totally
stream
incoherent.
All right. I'm feeling the same way that you boys are. I already told you. I'm convinced. I convinced myself that this is the year. I don't see why it wouldn't be. We've got all the weapons. We've got everything we need. Joe Milton is this is the time that we are going to be pleasantly surprised. When was the last time as a Michigan Wolverine fan were you pleasantly surprised by anything? So we are going to be surprised by, even with the hype, we're going to be surprised at how good this team is, how efficient that offense is. And they're going to, my prediction is that they're going to have some heart. They're going to have mental toughness that they've never had before. On the road in Minnesota, they haven't done well. We went over the last time that they've won on the road as a ranked team, but I think that this team is different. This team has mental toughness. This team has heart. This team is going to surprise not only us, but the national media. And you know what? They're going to go into week 8 and surprise some people as well. So we'll give a little, prediction for later in the season too. We'll get over the Golden Gophers, but no problem, first of all, though.
I love it. I love the week 8 prediction already. I like that. Get me hyped up for the end.
Hey, an empty shoe stadium, I'll take it.
Hey.
Right.
Toilet bowl never looked cleaner.
We've got Ohio State on the mind at all times, right? We have to.
Yep.
It takes all of us. It takes all of us to beat Ohio State.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, that was Blue by 90. That was a great podcast. Thank you to Cam for coming on. Cam, plug yourself here. Give us a little rundown of where we should follow you.
My full name, Cameron Mott. Last name, Macht. It's German. I'm the Michigan Wave on Instagram and Twitter.
The Michigan page.
Sorry. Jesus. Can't even plug myself here.
Couple beers.
Beers. A couple beers deep. But I'm always Wave to you guys. Whatever you want to call me, Cam, Wave, Hail to Mish, Page, Michigan Page. Hit my DMs if you want to talk about anything. I'm pretty active in the DMs. And this podcast right here inspired me to make some posts. So I'm going to get to that right after this.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Can't wait. Everybody go follow Cam at the Michigan page on Instagram, on Twitter. He's getting up on his Twitter game, so make sure to tweet at him as well. We will see you guys next week after a Michigan W, let's hope. And we'll have some great feedback, some great analysis. We'll have some people on with us to give us some analysis on what happened in the game and what's going on in the future. So thank you for listening. This is Blue by 90. You can follow us at Blue by 90 on Twitter, at Blue by 90 on Instagram, at Blue by 90 podcast on YouTube, as well as Blue by 90 on Facebook too. So check us out. Subscribe, please, if you haven't before. We'd love to have you in our DMs. Give us some questions and some topics for the rest of the season. And if you haven't realized, we love talking about Michigan football, and we could do it forever. So we'll be here for the whole season. So thank you, and go Blue.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.